A story of a plane which becomes a mystery to the world. MH370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
A jet carrying 239 souls vanishes into the night sky. No distress call, no wreckage, no goodbye. 10 years later, we still ask the same question. How can a modern aircraft just disappear? What would you notice first? On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, heading to Beijing.
Flight MH370 taking off.
It was a routine red-eye flight, cruising at 35,000 feet. Less than an hour later, it vanished from civilian radar.
We're losing signal on multiple targets. They're disappearing.
The story matters today because it redefined global aviation safety. It also left hundreds of families living in an endless wait for answers. A decade later, new technology, declassified data, and renewed analysis may bring us closer to the truth. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 departs Kuala Lumpur International Airport. At 1:19 a.m., the co-pilot radios,
Good night, Malaysian contact Malaysian 01370.
It is the last confirmed voice contact. Just 2 minutes later, radar data shows the plane leaving civilian screens and turning west, back over Malaysia. Military radar continues to track it silently as it crosses the peninsula and out toward the Andaman Sea. At 2:22 a.m., the aircraft disappears completely from radar. For days, search teams focus on the South China Sea, unaware the plane had turned in the opposite direction. Weeks later, satellite data from Inmarsat suggests the aircraft continued flying for about 7 hours, ending somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean. On March 24, 2014, the Malaysian Prime Minister announced that MH370 was lost in the Indian Ocean with no survivors. The most important evidence came from satellite handshake data, brief digital signals exchanged between the plane and a communication satellite. According to Inmarsat engineers, those pings showed changing distances consistent with a southward flight path. Between 2015 and 2018, debris identified as parts of MH370, flight simulator data found at the captain's home included a route similar to the southern arc, but investigators stated it was not proof of intent. No verified distress call, hijack code, or mechanical failure signal was ever transmitted. The plane's transponder was manually turned off before its sharp turn. Some analysts believe MH370 experienced a sudden decompression. Others argue human input was needed for the complex turn westward and subsequent navigation along airways. Alternate theories have included deliberate pilot action, mechanical failure, or even hijacking, but none have been conclusively proven. Official investigators call the cause undetermined. The ocean floor search, covering 120,000 square kilometers, found no trace of the main wreckage. The Indian Ocean kept it secret. For families, time froze on that March night. In Beijing's airport, relatives waited for hours, then days, hoping for news that never came. In Kuala Lumpur, volunteers helped parents, children, and spouses write letters to the missing. 10 years later, they still meet, holding photos, candles, and quiet hope. Some have become investigators themselves, learning aviation jargon, tracing satellite data, and walking beaches thousands of miles away in search of answers. 10 years on, we know where MH370 likely ended its flight. Deep in the Indian Ocean, we know its transponder was switched off and its route reversed. We don't yet know why, and that single missing piece keeps this story alive. The story of MH370 is more than a mystery. It is a mirror reflecting how fragile connection can be, even in an age of constant signal.